So with that, I'd like to hand it off to Michael, who's our first speaker. I'm really looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say.
Thank you, Janine. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, first of all, I'd like to thank the Global Compact organization for allowing UBS to participate. As many of you might have seen, our chairman spoke at the General Assembly yesterday as well on the topic, and I will mention some of the things that he did cover in his speech. It's an honor for me to share some of our views around sustainability and specifically our approach to sustainable investing. So our UBS's approach to sustainable investing is really to define a set of investment strategies that incorporate really material, environmental, social, and governance considerations into the actual investment decision. But what does this mean from an investor's perspective? Well, it means a couple of things. Number one, it means achieving a positive environmental or social impact alongside financial returns, and that's a very important point. Historically, and also today, there is a challenge to match those two things. And why is that? That is mainly because markets in general are only starting to reward companies that are actually following key principles in the ESG space. But it's also alignment of personal values. So as the biggest wealth manager in the world, we have a substantial amount of high net worth individuals and family offices where these personal values come into play and where we very often align these investment portfolios with those values. But it also means, what Janine mentioned, improving the portfolio risk return. So the actual risk return ratio. So as an example, having an investment bond or a sustainable investment bond may include capital at risk. It may, if the project fails, there is 100% risk. How do we ensure that we get that risk minimized, but still keeping those returns? One of the key things I'd like to mention today is specific projects that UBS has been working on to achieve our internal targets on SDGs, but also to achieve our clients' targets. The UBS Optimist Foundation is a good example of a product where, what's called a first development impact bond, where its aim was to enroll girls into schools in Rajasthan in India. Why was this unique? It's unique because it only pays out based on the academic success of the students. So investors in this case will have some risk in case the project doesn't succeed. We also raised 475 million for the UBS Oncology Impact Fund, which was an impact investment initiative based on both public stocks and private stocks aimed at developing cancer treatments. Why is this important? It's important because even though there are many new developments in cancer treatment, overall we believe that as population ages, cancer will be always something that we need to factor in as something we need to fight against. In this audience, we'll have my colleague Caroline Anstey, who launched the UBS Grand Challenge. The Grand Challenge is a UBS-wide initiative to encourage our employees to come up with innovative ideas in the space of sustainability. We received 245 well thought through complete proposals on innovative investments in this space, which we think is a substantial amount. And of these 245, I also participated with my team. Of this 245, one will be chosen to actually be a product that we launch into our channels. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to mention a specific index project that we have initiated. This, if the ones who were there in the General Assembly yesterday would have heard our chairman mention a sustainability index that we are developing based on the Global Compact 100 stock index. This index is an investable index, and it's unique in its nature because it includes only the 13,000 or so Global Compact signatories as the base of the index. The index, as an innovative project, has other criteria as well, such as it only includes signatories that have been in the index for at least 1 year. The companies obviously have to be publicly listed. They have to be available through key sustainability research, these companies. And they have to be overall compliant with the Global Compact principles. And this is not just at the starting point, but this is at specific measuring times and based on their scores over time. And as a specific point, they're not involved in tobacco. In order to make this index investable, from a trading perspective, from an access perspective, we have also screened out companies that are too small in terms of liquidity or too small in terms of actual market capitalization. This index will be launched over the next few months formally, but it will be something UBS hopes to sell globally through its wealth channel in various formats and sustainability vehicles such as funds, but also potentially launching a sustainability bond with the World Bank. Moreover than that, as a special initiative, something that we're doing with the index is we're trying to work with startups from the Silicon Valley to see how can we get this index into the world of millennials and people who today care more and more about sustainability. Thank you very much.